1. Introduction. This is a story about my life. It is a story about love, and it is also a story about a big hurt. Sometimes love can bring great happiness, but sometimes it can bring great sadness too. My story is about one time when love brought me much sadness and pain. It was a very difficult time for me. Before this happened, I thought relationships were simple. You find someone you like, you fall in love, and you live happily. But life is not always like that. Things can happen that you do not expect. Things that hurt you very much. When this big hurt came into my life, I started to think a lot. I often wondered why things like this happen in relationships. Why do people hurt each other? Why does love sometimes end in pain? I did not understand it. I wanted to find answers. I wanted to understand why my life changed in this way. This story is about what I went through. It is about the time before the hurt, the time of the hurt, and the time after the hurt. It is a journey through a difficult part of my life. This story is also about what I found out. I learned many things from this experience. I learned about myself, about love, and about people. It was a hard way to learn, but the lessons are important. This is not just a sad story. It is also a story about learning and becoming stronger. It is a lesson from my own life. I decided to tell this story because maybe other people have felt this way too. Maybe other people have wondered why love can hurt. Maybe telling my story can help someone else. Or maybe it can just help me to understand it better myself. It is my personal story, shared with you. In this story, I will tell you about the person I loved. I will tell you about our happy time together. I will tell you about the moment everything changed. And I will tell you about how I felt and what I did after that. It is a story of love, trust, and a big break. It is a story about trying to understand why things happen and how to live after something breaks your heart. My experience was very painful. It felt like my world was broken into many small pieces. It took a long time to put the pieces back together. This introduction is just the start. The story will explain everything that happened, step by step. It is a true story from my heart. It is a story about a big question, why? And it is a story about finding a way to live and be happy again, even after a big hurt in love. This is my story, my lesson. 2. We meet him. Before I met Peter, my life was quite simple. I was 24 years old. I was working hard. My big dream was to be a top event planner. I liked my job, but I wanted something more. I hoped for a big love in my life. I wanted to find someone special. Life was okay, but it felt like a piece was missing. Then, one evening, everything changed. I was helping at a big charity gala. Many people were there. It was a fancy event. I was busy, making sure everything was right. And then I saw him. He was across the room. He was tall and very handsome. He looked at me and smiled. My heart felt a little jump. He walked over to me. He said he liked the gala. He asked my name. His voice was warm and friendly. We started talking. We talked for a long time that night. He was smart and funny. He made me feel special. It felt easy to talk to him. I felt a connection right away. He called me the next day. Our first date was wonderful. It felt like magic. We had dinner at a nice restaurant, then we walked by the river. He listened to me when I talked. He held my hand. Everything felt right when I was with him. Our dates continued. Weeks turned into months. He sent me flowers. Sometimes he surprised me with small trips. We had deep talks late at night. We shared our dreams for the future. I thought, this is it. This is the person for me. I quickly fell deeply in love with him. It happened fast, but it felt so strong and true. Peter became the most important person in my life. I thought about him all the time. I wanted to be with him every day. He filled the space in my life that felt empty before. I believed our future together would be happy and bright. I trusted him completely. I thought our love was a fairy tale come true. 3, our happy home. After 6 months, Peter asked me to live with him. I was very happy. I said yes. His apartment was beautiful. It had big windows and looked very modern. It felt like our home, a happy home for us. We started our life together there. We did many things. We cooked dinner in the kitchen. We watched movies on the sofa. It was comfortable and nice. I met Peter's friends. They came to our apartment sometimes. They were friendly people, and they seemed to like me. Peter was happy with me. He was proud of me and my work. I supported him with his job. He helped me with my ideas for events. We were like a team. We felt strong together. We often talked about the future. We talked about getting married one day. We talked about having children in the future. He said he could not imagine his life without me. He looked at me like I was the only woman in the world. I believed him completely. Our life felt perfect. But sometimes I saw small things, little things that were strange. Peter worked very late sometimes. He said it was for a big project at work. Other times his phone made a sound. He would take it very quickly. He put it away fast. He said it was just work messages. I was busy too with my job as an event planner. I had a lot to do. I did not think too much about these small things. I did not want to see problems. I wanted our perfect life to continue. I wanted the dream to be real. So, I chose to ignore these little warning signs. I wanted to be happy in our home with him. We lived together for a long time like this, mostly happy in our beautiful apartment. 4, he is different. About 1.5 years passed after I moved in with Peter. We were happy, but slowly I felt a change. Peter seemed different. He was not as close to me as before. He didn't show his love in the same way. He started to make more excuses. He was late coming home or went away more often. He said he had many important meetings for his work. He also started to keep his phone very private. He didn't leave it around like before. If it made a sound, he would quickly look at it and put it away. I didn't like this new behavior, but I didn't say much at first. One evening, Peter was sitting near me. His phone lit up with a new message. I saw a name on the screen. It was a woman's name, Isabella. The message said, "See you tomorrow." My stomach felt a little strange. I asked Peter, "Who is Isabella?" I tried to sound calm. Peter answered quickly, maybe too quickly. He said, "Oh, Isabella, she is a new client, a very important one for my job." He didn't look at me when he spoke. He looked away. I felt a cold, uneasy feeling start in my chest. Something felt wrong, but I wanted to believe him. I told myself to trust him. I wanted our happy life to continue. I didn't want to think about that strange feeling or the message on his phone. I chose to believe his words, even though my heart felt a little heavy. 5. The truth hurts. I planned a surprise for Peter one afternoon. I finished my work earlier than I usually did. I felt happy because I was going home early. I went to the shop near our apartment. I bought all the things for his favorite meal. I thought about his smile when he saw me. I walked to our building with the bags of food. I was excited. I put the key in the door of our apartment. I turned the key and opened the door quietly. When I opened the door, I heard sounds that were not normal. I heard low voices speaking. Then, a woman laughed. It was a light sound, not loud, but I heard it clearly. It was not my laugh, not the sound I expected. My heart felt cold. It started to beat very fast. I felt a sudden fear deep inside me. Something was wrong. I walked slowly and very quietly towards our bedroom. The door was not closed completely. It was open just a little bit. I stopped outside the door. I held my breath. I looked inside through the small opening. And then I saw them. It was Peter, my Peter, and she was there too, Isabella. The woman I saw on his phone, they were together, in our bedroom, in our home. Seeing them together was a terrible shock. My body felt frozen. I could not move. I could not speak. It was like a bad dream, but it was real. I felt a sharp pain in my chest. It was hard to breathe. My eyes felt hot and started to burn. I wanted to scream, but no sound came out. I just stood there, watching for a few seconds. Then I knew I had to leave. I turned around slowly. I walked back to the front door of the apartment. I opened it and went outside. I closed the door softly behind me. I did not look back at the room. I started to walk quickly away from the door. Then I started to run. I ran out of the building and onto the street. I ran as fast as I could. I ran and ran without stopping. I ran until my legs felt like they could not carry me anymore. I stopped in a park far away. I was breathing very fast. My body was shaking. The world around me seemed strange and blurry. Everything I believed in was broken. My happy life with Peter, our plans for the future, the love I thought we had, it was all a lie. The truth I saw hurt so much. It was a pain deep inside my heart. I felt lost and completely alone. The dream was over. 6. We talk about it. Later that same night, my phone rang. It was Peter. His voice sounded strange, like he was very worried. "Gia, where are you?" he asked quickly. He sounded panicked. I was far away, but I knew I had to see him. I needed to hear the words from him. I needed to understand. So I agreed to meet him. We chose a small cafe. It was a neutral place, not ours, not his or mine. It felt like a place for difficult talks. When I saw him, he looked tired and scared. We sat down, and it was quiet for a moment. Then he started to talk. He tried to explain what happened. He said, "It just happened." He said it wasn't planned. He told me that Isabella was important for his work, for his career. He said she had power and could help him. He said that what happened with her didn't mean anything to him. He looked at me and said he still loved me. He said I was the one he wanted. He said I was the most important person, but his words felt cold. Then he said something that hurt even more. He said maybe it was partly my fault. He said we had become distant. He said I was busy with my job too. He tried to make me feel like I shared the blame for his actions. My heart felt like it was breaking again. How could he say this? After everything we had, all our happy times, our plans for the future, the love we shared. At that moment, I couldn't hold back my feelings anymore. The tears came fast, and I started to cry loudly. I also started to yell. "How could you do this?" I asked him. "How could you lie to me? How could you hurt me like this after I loved you so much?" My voice was shaking. I felt so much pain and anger. He just sat there, looking down sometimes. He said he was sorry. He repeated the word sorry many times, but his apology was just a word. It felt empty. It didn't take away the pain. It didn't fix anything that was broken inside me. The talk was over, but the hurt was still there, big and heavy. 7. I am sad. The next day, I took my things from the apartment. It was very hard. I put my clothes and books into boxes. I packed my memories, too. I left the key on the small table near the door. Leaving felt like leaving a piece of myself. My heart felt empty and heavy. Soon, people started to know what happened. Peter and Isabella were not quiet about it. Isabella was a well-known person. Peter was becoming known too. The news spread fast, like a fire. At my job, planning events, people talked. I heard whispers when I walked by. People looked at me with sad eyes, sometimes maybe with too much interest. It was hard to work. It was hard to focus on anything when everyone knew my pain. My office felt small, and the world outside felt big and judging. Peter and Isabella started going to public events together. They looked like a happy couple. It was in the news. It felt like they wanted everyone to see them. For me, seeing this was very painful. It felt like they were saying I was not important. Like I never lived there, like our time together never happened. This hurt me almost as much as finding them together. I had many dark days after that. I felt broken inside. I could not eat much. I could not sleep well. My mind was always working, asking questions. Why did he do this? What was wrong with me? Was I not pretty enough? Not interesting enough? I felt like I was not good enough. I asked myself if it was my fault that he looked for someone else. I also thought about Isabella. What about her? Did she know about me? Did she care that I was with Peter? Was she just using him, or did she love him? Was she bad, or was Peter the only one to blame? It felt very complicated. I did not have answers. I only had sadness and many questions that went around and around in my head. It was a time of deep pain and confusion. I felt lost and alone. 8. I am strong now. Healing was not fast. It was a very slow road. But I knew I needed help. I found a person who helped me. We talked about everything. Talking about my feelings was important. It was like cleaning a room that was very messy inside me. Slowly, the pain started to feel less sharp. I decided to put all my energy into my job. Event planning was my work, and it could be my future. I worked many, many hours. I thought about new ideas. I wanted to build something for myself. I started my own small business. It was just me at first, but it was mine. Planning events became my focus. It gave me a reason to wake up every day. This work helped me to survive the hard time. Through all this, I learned something important about myself. I was stronger than I thought. I could stand on my own. I also learned to see things clearly in relationships. I learned to look for the little signs that tell you something is not right. I would not ignore them again. Many months passed. Life started to feel normal again. One day, I was at a big event for my business. I was managing everything. Then I saw him, Peter. He was in the room. He looked at me across the people. He seemed surprised to see me there, maybe even a little sad. I looked at him for a moment. I did not feel the old pain. I felt free. I turned my head and walked away. I had work to do. Now I understand more. His cheating was not about me. It was about him. It was about his own problems and his choices. It was not because I was not good enough. My worth did not change because of what he did. I still believe in love. It is a good thing. But next time I will be wiser. My experience taught me how to heal from a big hurt. It also taught me how to live again. And maybe, one day, how I might learn to trust someone again.